Hello, good afternoon once again, and I'm happy to be back. This is Belinda Shula-Tembo. I'm a nutritionist at the National Food and Nutrition Commission, here to share with you one or two tips on nutrition for your health as well as your general well-being. So today we are going to discuss nutrition supplementation. Some of you may have questions around nutrition supplementation. You walk into a pharmacy and there are all kinds of supplements. Are you supposed to be just popping pills as you please? We'll discuss that today. So what is nutrition supplementation? The term supplementation means you are supplementing something, right? And you're actually supplementing your diet. So it's not that you are replacing your diet, you are just helping your diet. So it shouldn't be a habit for you to just pop pills as you please, B complex, multivitamins, and so forth. It has to be when it is necessary. Otherwise, you'll be wasting a lot of money because these things don't cost, they are not cheap. They cost quite a lot of money. And also you may actually cause toxicity in your body. And thirdly, you may be taking them for nothing. You are okay in certain micronutrients, but your body is just excreting whatever it is that you are feeding it. Then of what value is it if you are just popping in pills to excrete? Waste of money. So when is it necessary to supplement? Let's look at the life cycle of life. Usually when a woman is pregnant, and pregnant women out there and ladies will know this, that you are encouraged to supplement during pregnancy. That is because you are carrying an extra life within you. So you have your life to take care of and the life of this baby who is growing in you. And so it is important that you add supplementation. And what supplements do we normally give? It's not just any supplement. We focus on folic acid. Folic acid is a micronutrient. It's a type of B9. So B9 supplementation actually is important because it helps prevent neural tube defects. So basically preventing the child from being born with neurological challenges. Neurological challenges would mean challenges like where the spinal cord is out of the spine. You know, we have certain children who are born like that, and we call it spina bifida, where the spine actually did not form correctly because of little vitamin B in the mother's body. And so it resulted in this, we call it like a kink in the spine, and it can be very difficult to live with. So children who have this actually find it difficult, for example, to sit up the way I'm sitting, and so there is need for added surgery after delivery for that to be corrected, or at least for the child to be assisted to a better level of functioning. So that we want to prevent early on, and it is best that the mother takes it within the first month of pregnancy. Now I know for most of us, you actually find out you are pregnant maybe at 2 or 3 months, but still you need to take it in. It is best in the first month if you can, especially those who have planned their pregnancies. Start taking it even before. So a B vitamin is good, like especially folate supplementation. The other one is iron. Iron supplementation is usually in a red pill that is given at the health facility to our pregnant women, or also women who are found to be low in iron due to maybe menstruation or whatever other complications that may have happened. You are given that iron tablet. So that again is because they have found a problem that you are taking it, not just because you feel it is necessary to take it. There needs to be a problem. Otherwise, you need to actually be taking these nutrients from your diet. When your diet cannot make it or cannot manage to help you to outside, or to basically move you out of your poor nutritional status, then we call in supplements to assist. So another supplement that is normally given is calcium, especially for the elderly. because calcium supplementation, calcium levels also when they are too low, it makes it difficult for the bones to be strong enough. And also, like I said in the previous session, we said that calcium actually is important for your bones, and also your blood maintains a certain level of calcium. When it goes below that, the body does not accept. So supplementation, just a word of caution, supplementation should not just be haphazard. Make sure that you visit your health facility to see to it that you actually need that supplementation. And even if you need that supplementation, ensure that your diet is also great, because synthetic supplementation does not work as good as the natural nutrients that you get from the foods. So I hope you learned a thing or two. We will continue next week on basically talking about non-communicable diseases and how you can best prevent it. So until then, see you next time.
Thank you very much. That was the Nutrition Corner on the Lunch Cafe. Now, that is our first segment on this particular program that comes to you every Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at exactly 12 hours. We give you what is happening around us, and of course, we take you back in memory as we bring to you items that used to happen in those particular days. But that segment will be coming up a little bit earlier, later on. For now, the next segment is what we call the trending, the emerging stories. Now, we look at stories that are happening right now as our reporters around the world, around the country rather, and giving us stories as they happen. One interesting story that is making the headlines today is that of the Socialist Party leader Fred Membe, who has been invited for an interview at the Woodlands Police Station. We'll be getting to Nelson Zulu, who is on the ground, and he'll be giving us details of what is happening at the Woodlands Stadium, at the Woodlands Police Station, as we discuss the issue surrounding the Socialist Party leader. Now, before we get to that particular story, let's have a look at some of the other stories that are making the headlines on the program this morning. Now, this segment gives you stories that we expect also to make a feature on our 19 hours menus. It is called the Emerging Stories segment, and here we are going to be showing you some bits of what is happening and what we expect in our menus at exactly 1930 hours, sorry. This is the Lunchtime Cafe on Camnet TV. If you are joining us, you are watching us on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 106 on Topstar, and on GoTV 5. We are also live on our Facebook page, which is Camnet TV. So just go to that particular page and you will find this broadcast live. And if you have any questions and contributions for this particular program, you can just go to the comment section and leave your contributions there. We are also live on our YouTube channel, which is also Camnet TV. Not forgetting our TikTok which is also Camnet TV. We are live on all those platforms. You can catch us and follow this particular program. This is the Emerging Stories segment. Let's get into our first story. No, but before we get into our first story, let's take a short break, and when we come back, we'll be looking at our first story in the Emerging Stories segment.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. Camnet TV is on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and find us on channel 106 on Topstar. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Hey, join me, Amazing Katamanda, on the weekly gospel show for those exciting and interesting interviews with your favorite gospel music.
Hold on to me when it's too dark to see. You cannot put your power through. Hallelujah.
And this time around, we are bringing to you entertainment news and the counter, as you guys are able to nominate your top 3 favorite music videos of the week. Remember, it's every Saturday at 10:45. You can also catch repeats every Monday at 10 hours. Camnet TV is not just another time.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet Television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet Television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
Akora kansheko alakula chancha mukero kula chekerera ucho mwana na inanga nyaba buturuka uwinge wo munanga tikasambe nani ingata mwishire nyaba buturuka uwinge wo munanga tikasambe nani mure ikushya ine ikushya nyabo mwikere nabo.
It's time! Camnet TV brings to you an exciting kids show called My Creation. Join me, Sarah Chandamangazagya, to interact with kids with special skills and talents between the age range of 9 to 17. This show will come to you every Saturday at 13:30 on Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Water is life. Each drop counts, and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Renglow, your smart irrigation partner.
Thank you very much. You are still watching the Lunch Time Cafe on Camnet TV. Now, this is a program that comes to you, as we always say, from Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at exactly 12 hours. We start with the Nutrition Corner, which has just ended, and we get into the Emerging Stories segment. Now, remember that we are live on our Facebook page, and like Kelvin Mawele, you can also go to our Facebook page and give us your thoughts on this particular program. So, let's get moving now. In an effort to reduce rampant cases of gender-based violence as GBV, Zambia Sugar has embarked on sensitizing communities in Mazabuka district on the negative impacts associated with the vice. Now, the development has come at a time when Zambia police released a report on the second quarter of the 2023 in which the total of 9,988 cases of gender-based violence, GVB, were reported countrywide compared to 7,589 cases that were reported in the second quarter of 2022, indicating an increase of 2,399 cases, translating into a 31.61% increase. With a total of about 7,200 employees, Zambia Sugar saw it fit to start fighting the scourge by raising awareness within the company through interactions with workers from all levels. Now, Zambia Sugar Corporate Affairs Director Eugene Chungu notes that the exercise, which aims at educating communities on the dangers of HIV and GBV in various areas of the sugar-producing town, will culminate into the National Voluntary Counseling and Testing VCT Day on the 14th of August 2023. Let's have a look at this.
So that we could enhance our program at the Zambia Sugar Estate, so that our workers can get information about GBV issues, so that they are aware what GBV is all about, and also to address issues that happen within the communities, within the workplace regarding GBV. So basically, the presentation now being done is by YWCA, and workers are participating in addressing these issues. Yeah, basically because 14th August is a run-up to the National HIV Counseling and Testing Day, which was proclaimed by the Republic of Zambia. And also it is the time when we are midway, we are ending the year for the company. The financial year is ending in August, and September will begin another year. So basically it's the height of activities, and that's where we maximize in terms of the time that we have for the workers. So we feel that if workers go through this program, then they'll be able to identify abuse in general, in whichever way you look at it, either sexual abuse or just violence, or even, if they feel uncomfortable at either a workplace or in the community, they need to identify to say, no, this is not normal, it's leading to abuse. Sometimes they can be psychologically abused. So we feel that to be able to identify, is this issue an abuse issue? Am I comfortable with it?
Zambia Sugar Estate is one of the places where we receive cases from. And so looking at how many cases we are receiving, and we thought it was going to be more helpful if we can reach out on sensitization to the sugar estate. And that's why you see us championing a sensitization tour, thinking this is going to help us head in the right direction. And this also can also sway in either ways. It can also mean that we may receive even more cases after this sensitization, or receive less. So we can receive more cases in that people are sensitized and now they're open enough to report about these cases, or we may not really get a lot of cases in that people are sensitized and so they are doing away with those bad vices.
Teaching us on GBV and how to prevent it here at work and in society. And I think my co-workers here, they've really benefited from this gathering. I'm sure they are going to report on the cases that happen here. I'm sure they do happen, not just in society, maybe even here at the workplace they do happen. So saw these women and both men.
So that is about gender-based violence in Mazabuka and what the Zambia Sugar Company is doing to try and address that particular problem. Now let's move on, getting to the next story, which is a developing story, and it says Socialist Party President Fred Membe is at the Woodlands Police Station for questioning. Now among the suspected charges is he is being accused of inciting police officers to demand for better wages. Our staffer Nelson Zulu is at the Woodlands Police Station, and he will be giving us an update. Nelson, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Mr. Makumbo. How are you?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Now, Nelson, bring us up to speed with what is happening on the ground at Woodlands Police.
It's been now over 2 hours since the Socialist Party President got into Woodlands Police Station for questioning. And as you can hear from my background, we have a lot of Socialist Party sympathizers just outside waiting to get a glimpse of the opposition leader. Now, issues relating to this questioning, it is alleged that he questioned the appointment of Mr. Fred Membe, the Director General Officer of the President's Special Division, as Chairman of the Church Operations Committee, with immediate effect by Secretary to the Cabinet, Mr. Patrick Kambwa. And then as allegations also border on issues he incited, we were actually incited police officers to demand for better salaries from them. But all those issues are yet to be confirmed once we went to what exactly is going to come out from this questioning. But this interview is accompanied by more than 5 lawyers from his party, the wives, as well as other party sympathizers.
Okay, now we did see the call out and Mr. Membe was supposed to report at Woodlands Police Station at 10 hours this morning. What time did he come in and what was the mood generally as he was coming into Woodlands Police?
According to the call out, he was supposed to appear before the police headquarters. After some time, he was directed to Woodlands Police Station, where he actually came with full confidence and he gave some sort of usual approach to the case. The first question on what grounds was being questioned. He was only hopeful that all the issues are going to be tabled before him and then later on be able to give a comprehensive statement. But according to what we saw at the time, he said everything looked well from his side, very confident, and we're looking forward to how things are going to be. So we've been waiting as well as for the media houses. We're just outside here looking at what's going to be the final outcome.
You did mention earlier that there are quite a number of sympathizers that are at Woodlands Police trying to show solidarity to President Membe. Now, what is the situation as regards the security? We do know that mostly when opposition leaders are called to the police, there is heavy police presence at times in riot gear. What's the situation like this morning?
Yes, we have got a lot of police officers on the ground just trying to control the situation, and the party sympathizers are able to chant with their songs, their slogans, that all looks well and nothing of sort of violence or use of force has been expected from the supporters as well as the police officers.
Nelson, thank you very much for your time. We do hope that you get a story from that particular place. If anything that you want to conclude with as we come to the end of this update?
We basically just look forward, although inside something indicate that we went for a warn and caution statement to be recorded, but we're yet to see what really is going to be the end result and what the case will be and how it's going to turn out. But at this time, I'm able to see the opposition leader, Dr. Freddy, that their wife and the lawyers through the window, just waiting to see the way forward.
Apart from the Rainbow, sorry, from the Socialist Party, Nelson, do you can you see any other political parties that have come to offer solidarity apart from Socialist?
For now, it's only Socialist Party officials that are on the ground, and nothing of opposition, other opposition leaders trying to show solidarity, but it's all full part. Socialist Party members.
Nelson, thank you very much. All the best.
You are most welcome. Thank you. We continue to give you an update once anything comes up.
Thank you very much. That is Nelson Zulu, our staffer, who is at the Woodlands Police Station, where Mr. Membe is being questioned. We are coming through from that particular police station. Now, we do expect this story also in detail at 19:30 when we bring you our main news for today. Now, moving on, the Zambia Information and Communications Authority, ZICTA, has announced that it has so far deactivated 140,000 SIM cards, which send unsolicited messages to mobile subscribers. Now, speaking at the just ended Zambia Agriculture and Commercial Show in Lusaka, Edgar Mlaozi, who is the Manager Consumer Protection and Compliance at ZICTA, says the authority is doing everything possible to bring the scammers to book. Now, Mr. Mlaozi says the authority has also come up with various interventions to curb cybercrime.
We have also come up with a short code, *707#. This is a short code. Whenever you receive a message, Impia Shavala and Danashisa, CDF for money, you just need to dial *707#, and you enter that number which sent that message. So far, ZICTA has deactivated over 140,000 SIM cards of these perpetrators who sent unsolicited messages. But what you want now to see is those amounts which are blocked in these mobile money accounts. We want to see that some of those monies start being refunded to the consumers. Right now, we're working with Bank of Zambia to ensure that maybe there's a compensation scheme of refund. For instance, if we block a number which was about to scam somebody, and we were able to see that the last person who sent this money was John Warrior, we should quickly, once we do due diligence, quickly refund John Warrior that money because it has been held up in that deactivated account. So to us, those are matters which we want to address under the collaborative framework. And this month, what we want to do is to come up with an incident reporting system. This will be centralized. There will be institutions like regulators like Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, Bank of Zambia, and law enforcement agencies together with ZICTA. So when a complaint is lodged by a consumer, it doesn't matter which part of the country, it will go into that centralized system. We'll be able to see which institution is responsible for that complaint. The consumer is going to have, or the complainant is going to have that visibility on which regulator is handling that complaint. At the moment, what is happening, somebody maybe comes to ZICTA. ZICTA will say, this is not under our mandate. They'll push the consumer to Bank of Zambia. Bank of Zambia will say, go to the police. So we are inconveniencing the consumers. But through that platform, we are going to ensure that actually we have a proper centralized system. So we want to ensure that actually consumers feel safe in the digital economy. And one of the issues we have also been working on is we have been working with the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security. I'm sure you know that there's a digital identity card which is about to be launched. So to us, we feel that actually it is going to resolve most of the challenges which we are facing. Because when you look at most of these perpetrators, they hide under false identities.
So that's another story that we do expect at exactly 19:30 this evening. ZICTA talking about scammers who usually send those messages to unsuspecting subscribers, and then some unfortunately will fall for those particular messages, and then they lose their hard-earned monies. So ZICTA has come up with some interventions to bring that particular problem to book. So Moving on, this is one of the stories that we are expecting, of course, at 19. And also in sports, Zambia national soccer team striker Fashion Sakala as Rangers adventure has come to an end, with the striker confirming his departure in an emotional letter that he has written to his teammates, supporters, and the coaches. Now, Sakala, who has had an impressive season with Rangers, is already believed to have signed a long-term contract with Saudi Pro League Al Fahd. Now, Sakala and Rangers, the club he joined in 2021, has had a profound impact on his life. Now, when he says when he first joined Rangers, this is a quote from his letter. He says, "When I first joined Rangers, I couldn't have imagined the profound impact this club and its community have on my life. Now, from the first day, you embraced me as one of your own, making me feel like I belong here, and that sense of belonging has been a thriving force behind my performances on the pitch." So that is according to Fashion, as he penned down that remembering some of his great exploits at the Scottish club Rangers. Now, he is believed to be moving to Saudi Arabia, where he will be playing for a club called Al Fahd, and also he has indicated his appreciation to his fellow players, the community, and of course the coaches. So it has been confirmed that Fashion is leaving Rangers and headed for Saudi Arabia. Now, that's another story that you expect in the sports news. But for now, we get into the next segment. Now, this segment is called the Forgotten Stories segment. But before we go into the details of this particular segment, let's take a short break, and when we come back, we'll be reminding you of those stories.
Water is life. Each drop counts, and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Rain Glow, your smart irrigation partner.
Welcome back. So that was the Emerging Stories segment. We did look at a story from Mazabuka, where Zambia Sugar is doing some interventions as regards gender-based violence. Also, we did look at a story where ZICTA is working to end issues to do with cybercrime, and also we did speak to one of our reporters who is on the ground, and this time at Woodlands Police Station, where Socialist Party leader Fred Membe is being questioned, and Nelson Zulu is on the ground, and he was giving us the details as regards the situation. Nelson informs us that Mr. Membe has been in that questioning room now for about slightly over 2 hours, and he will be giving us the details of what is going to happen or what is transpiring later on also in the day. And of course, in our menus at 19:30, we will have the details of what will have transpired at the Woodlands Police Station, where Mr. Membe is being questioned. We did also look at a story which spoke about Fashion Sakala leaving Scotland and heading to Saudi Arabia. Of course, he has been playing for Rangers in Scotland, and he is going to play to Al Fahar in the Saudi Arabian Pro League, where there is a mass exodus of players, of course, headed into that direction, which is the Saudi League, considering the monies that they are flashing around and getting players at very, very interesting amounts. They did offer what could have been a record-breaking 300 million for the French international Kylian Mbappe, who is at PSG, but the player did refuse to go that particular direction and insisted he wants to play for Real Madrid. So that is just about the Saudi League and how they are getting almost whoever they want and offering very, very huge and insane amounts for these players. So let's get into the Forgotten Stories segment, and now we are going to be reminding you of some of the stories that did happen a few years back, just to refresh your memories and remind you of where we have come from. So let's have a look at some of the stories that we picked for you for this particular day.
We do that in PF, but the other party, the major party, of course, the other parties, I have not much difficulty with them. I'm talking about UPND here, in case there is doubt. I'm talking about UPND here, and the gentleman got the HH, Hagainde Hichilema. He's a troublemaker. He means no good until he gets what he wants to be in State House. And we can't allow that because there's a process. So post-election, if the law is broken, those of you are worried about post-election, stay on. If I'm sworn in and I have power to act on him, if he breaks the law, so be it. There's no one who is above the law. And I'm not saying this because I want to pleasure myself and just make people feel good, but I've got the responsibility to protect law and order. And that I will do without any qualms at all. But I will give him his space.
And we continue because before coming here we were speaking to the health officials to give us advice, to brief us on COVID preparedness and how the elections, how in times of elections the protocols are going to be observed, the campaigns on election day. Also, of course, we also talk to the police on how they enforce the law and order.
Zambia's fourth Republican President, Rupiah Banda, earned the respect of citizens and that of the international community for accepting defeat from the Patriotic Front's late Michael Chirifyasata in the year 2011. It was not easy after spending more on campaigns and painting the nation blue during public rallies. Mr. Banda is now a statesman whose efforts contribute towards strengthening Zambia's democracy. The former head of state says violence, hate speech and racial profiling must not be entertained in this election, adding that Zambians must vote for their preferred candidates.
And necessary cooperation and support so that it can fulfill its mandate in a satisfactory manner. Fellow citizens, there is a need to maintain peace and unity in this country as we head to the polls. I am therefore appealing to all our politicians to ensure that they do not destroy Zambia by desisting from resorting to retrogressive and divisive activities such as violence, hate speech, including ethnic and racial profiling in their campaigns or during their campaigns.
He says since the introduction of multi-party democracy, the country has been holding peaceful elections and must continue to do so.
Chosen for ourselves a system that gives legitimacy to those in government through the ballot box. To our friends who have come from afar and near to observe this election, this is a noble and widely accepted role and practice in modern democracies. Monitors and observers ensure transparency and integrity of the elections. Indeed, our foreign friends are welcome, and we have no doubt about their competence and professionalism in this kind of undertaking.
Mr. Banda says in an election, there can only be one winner.
In every election, there will be winners and losers. Winners must remain humble, magnanimous, and show respect to the losers. The losers, on the other hand, must be able to graciously accept defeat, congratulate the winners, reorganize themselves, and try again in the next election. As a country, we must all work together to ensure that peace and unity prevail before, during, and after the elections.
Victors of this year's elections will be known this week, but speculatively, it can spin towards the Greens or the Reds. Patrick Soko, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Following concerns from members of the general public on the Anti-Corruption Commission SCC's investigation officer who shocked Magistrate Lamek Mwale when he testified in court, Minister of Health Dr. Chitalu Chilufya did not commit any crime as his earnings are above the corruption allegations, leaving Zambian citizens wondering why then the Minister of Health was taken to court in the first place and charged with 4 counts of possession of property suspected to be proceeds of crime. Transparent International Zambia also wondered what might have led to the investigation officer of the Anti-Corruption Commission changing his statement.
I think what transpired in court yesterday with regard to the testimony of the investigation officer at the Anti-Corruption Commission is something that equally perplexed us. I think a lot of stakeholders have expressed surprise and concern at the turn of events.
Now, the Anti-Corruption Commission SCC has announced that it has suspended its officer who told the courts of law Dr. Chitalu Chilufya did not do anything criminal. In a phone call interview with Camnet TV, the Anti-Corruption Commission Public Relations Officer Timothy Mono says the position taken by the investigative officer is not representing the body but his personal interests. Therefore, for now, he has been suspended.
No, I can only confirm that, yes, that is our memo, and the officer was suspended.
On what grounds?
He was suspended on the account that the position he gave in the court was contrary to the position of the commission. The evidence that he gave in court was not the same as what the commission's position is.
Okay. The Minister of Health, Dr. Chitalu Chilufya, is appearing in court on accusations he acquired properties suspected to be proceeds of crime. Constance Mwemba reporting for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
August 2021, the New Hope Multi-Party Democracy MMD held a briefing in Lusaka in which they highlighted a number of issues pertaining to the party's affairs as well as the run-up to the general elections which will be held in the next few days. MMD President Dr. Nevis Mumba has charged that the greatest threat to the country's peace is the Electoral Commission of Zambia (ECZ) and the Zambia Police Service, as their allegiance to the Patriotic Front compromises their objectivity in their quest to serve impartially, adding that the ECZ has not been responsive to their concerns.
As of today, the disposition of these two institutions poses the greatest threat to peace before, during, and after these elections.
Dr. Mumba further cautioned the Patriotic Front from using the name of the MMD party in order to gain popularity, as they are in no alliance, adding that without the MMD, the PF might not have been able to win the previous 2015 presidential elections. Matters which the ECZ have swept under the carpet, as they have failed to call the PF to account because they have no backbone.
The rumor of our possible withdrawal arose from the unacceptable behavior of President Lungu. I am tired myself, together with many Zambians, of Mr. Lungu's unlawful conduct. His love for lawlessness, his appreciation of criminally minded people, he revolves more around criminally minded people. The more they break the law, the closer he gets to them. And yet he's supposed to defend the Constitution.
He added that the PF, under the leadership of President Edgar Lungu, has embraced so much illegality and has shown the Zambian people why they should not vote for them.
We left the inflation at an average of 7%, single digit. Today it's at 17.7%. Tell me exactly why you are voting for President Lungu. Let's be honest. You better have a good reason for your children. Don't just do it for politics. Tell me why. Tell your son and your daughter why.
The MMD leader says the Patriotic Front should learn from the lessons of the MMD when they lost the 2011 elections to the PF, as they too monopolized the media and had all the state machinery at their disposal, but the wish of the people still prevailed, which will be the same this time around.
President Kaunda touched Milimil, just Milimil, and the prices went up. The Zambians said, don't you ever touch Milimil. When he touched food, he was out of State House.
Yes, sir.
Just food. A good man. Man north, man south, man east, man west. But when he touched food, he touched the eject button.
Yes, sir.
That's just the way Zambians are. MMD, on the other hand, did not increase the minimum prices.
No, sir.
But they were accused of being, we were accused of being corrupt. Zambians had, don't touch two things, minimum and don't be corrupt. Now, this is the point I want to make. The Patriotic Front are so at ease. They have sinned two sins. UNIP sinned one, PMMD one. PF has sinned twice. They have increased the minimum prices and they are corrupt. Two things.
Liseli Kanyanga Mubanga, Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
We want a school for children. Please.
Kalikiliki residents say they feel neglected and alone, as none of their leaders, starting from the area councillor Watson Mtonga to their area member of parliament Professor Nkanduluo, whom they say they last saw in 2016 when she was persuading them to vote for her. Kalikiliki residents say their leaders have abandoned them as they proceed to tell Camnet TV of all the problems they are facing in their area.
Muno mwatu makalikiriti vantu almost mamiliyoni but sitita pamanzi mokwanira. So icho cheve tifuna kuti vakanse vabwere pa open. Vakansela na vabwere pa open, especially vakansela tinavaona kapena papita na 5 years mane tinavotera vakansela sitivaona kuno kwa Kalikiliki. Kuno kwa Kalikiliki kunkhala ngati tili kushang'ombo. Tilibe manzi, tilibe marodi, tilibe muntu amene atiyanganira. So isa maskulu kuno kulibe, kliniki kulibe, munuza ti mtachoka kuno na mimba ende kumtendere. Na coronavirus yabwera tizakhala moyo. aya manzi yachoka pansi siyachoka kutapu kuli konse kuma plot ndiye kuli chinji cha chipompa manzi pansi so chikapompa manzi pansi chiyembekeza malitazi yakwane yakakwana malitazi manyi pa namba kutipasa nikutapa mgomo umozi munyumba muli mofo matapa mgomo umozi you can manage kumwa na kusamba na kupikira
and see the roads are impassable, we cannot even pass through. Dustbins, there's no vehicle to collect the refuge. So let the government at least do something. We haven't even seen the councillor of this place. Nobody. So Kaliklik people have been neglected. Please, please, they must assist us.
Now, Kalikiliki compound is a very densely populated area, and the lack of water for household use might lead to many diseases, including the deadly cholera, as we approach hot season. They narrate this is not the first time they have tried to engage their leaders who seem to be paying a deaf ear. We shall vote them out, they say.
I think the problem that we are facing in this compound is that since 1964, when we started voting, we voted for UNIP, we voted for MMD, now it is PF. They have done literally nothing here. And we don't have any government infrastructure in this compound. And then in terms of water, we are facing huge problem. Last time when Tonga came here, that was in 2016, when he was campaigning, he promised us to say that he's going to improve this compound together with the MP, but to say the truth, they have failed us here in this compound. Because of that, we are not happy. Yes. Mtonga is our councillor. His first name is Watson Mtonga. And we voted for him in 2016 together with the councillor. But to say the truth, they have done nothing in this.
Now, Munali Constituency Member of Parliament, Professor Nkandluwo, who is in charge of making sure these people are comfortable, says she cannot give a comment because she is not in Lusaka. Professor Luwo, during a phone call interview with Camnet TV, says she will only be able to give a comment when she is back in Lusaka next week, as she is apparently touring Muchinga province.
I'm in the field, I'm in the bush in Muchinga.
Yes, Honorable, I just wanted a quick reaction regarding...
I can't react to anything. I'm in the bush. I'm not even in the office. How do I react to things when I'm not in the office?
It's regarding your constituency.
Yeah, even if it's my constituency, I'm in Muchinga right now.
It is sad that the leaders who are selected by the people tend to forget who put them in power to better their lives. Constance Mwemba reporting for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
So those are some of the stories that were happening some years back. That was 2020 and 2021. We did look at some stories that were just refreshing our memories. There was one where Mr. Bai Koroma had visited the country before the elections and had a chat with President Edgar Lungu, and also the other one, the late Rupia Banda, was appealing to political players to ensure that we have a peaceful election, and various other stories that happened between 2021 and 2020, between 2020 and 2021. Those were the stories that we were sharing for you on the Forgotten Stories segment. So let's move on now. Let's quickly get into the updates of the Women's World Cup that is currently taking place in New Zealand and Australia. And we do have two fixtures for today. The first one was between Colombia and, of course, Jamaica. And the other one, which is underway now, is the France versus Morocco. This would be of interest to the African continent, because Morocco is representing Africa in that particular one. But unfortunately, we will get back soon. We will get to the results of these games and see how they are going. So let's maybe quickly get to see what happened yesterday in the games that were played in the round, in the round of 16 games played yesterday. Results. We did know that one African team, Nigeria, was up against England, and unfortunately they bowed out of the tournament. So yes, the games that were played in the round of 16, we did have Switzerland take on Spain, and Spain were victorious by beating Switzerland by 5-1. And then the other game was between Norway and Japan. Japan went through after they beat Norway by 3-1. The other game, South Africa and Netherlands. Netherlands beat South Africa by 2-0, meaning Spain, Japan and Netherlands have qualified to the quarters. And also Sweden did beat the United States of America on post-match penalties by 5-4. And then Nigeria went down also on post-match penalties by 4-2. And then the other one, Australia and Denmark. Australia beat Denmark by 2-0. And currently, those are the results. France is leading Morocco by 3-0, and it's only 30 minutes played so far. It's not an easy game for Morocco. Also, Colombia did beat Jamaica by 1-0. So the Reggae Girls are out, and Morocco are facing an uphill battle if they are to survive from a 3-0 down in 30 minutes. We do hope that Morocco can salvage something from that particular game. If France can score 3 in 30, then Morocco can also score 3 in 60 minutes remaining. So those are the results of the games that are being played in the round of 16. Moving on to the quarterfinals, those that have qualified to the quarterfinals already, Spain will be taking on Netherlands, and Japan will be taking on Sweden, and Australia will play a team between France and Morocco. Whoever wins that particular game will play Australia, while England will take on Colombia. So that is how they line up in the quarterfinals of the ongoing FIFA Women's World Cup in New Zealand and of course Australia. We do expect the opponents for Australia to come from that game that is underway now. 31 minutes played, 3-0. France leads Morocco, and from there that fixture will be full and done, and we will be waiting to see the quarterfinals starting Friday, the 11th of August, with the first game being played at 03 a.m. Spain and Netherlands. Japan and Sweden will play at 9:30. England and Colombia will play at 12:30 on Saturday, and Australia and either Morocco or France will play at 9:30 on Saturday. So those are the games at the World Cup. Now, interestingly, yesterday England was playing Nigeria, and the game ended in a 0 draw. They went up to the penalties where England beat Nigeria by 4-2. Interesting result there, which saw another African team bow out. So South Africa is out, Zambia is out, South Africa is out, Nigeria is out, and our only remaining representatives, Morocco, seemingly facing an uphill battle if they are to survive this particular one. They are 3-0 down against France, and it's only 30 minutes played. We do wish the Atlas Lionesses all the best in that particular game. So that's it That's all the program could accommodate for today. Don't forget to join us again tomorrow at exactly 12 hours when we come with another interesting, educative and entertaining program for you. On behalf of the entire production team, have a blessed afternoon.